Hello and welcome back to ESBR Boxing. Absolutely delighted tonight to be joined by Niall and our colleague over in America, Thomas. Gents, you joined me tonight for our Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker big fight breakdown. It's a huge fight on probably the biggest card I've ever seen in my lifetime. In Saudi Arabia on December the 23rd. It's Christmas come early, but before we get into it, gents, how are we both tonight?
Yeah, all
Doing
good.
well, doing well.
Looking forward to this one and the whole card, as you said. So,
Absolutely. So as we'll get straight into things. I think both of being ex-world champions, there's a lot of competition fighting on the night. Obviously we've got Usyk Fury to come in the new year as well. I'll start with yourself, Thomas. So either fighter wins. It doesn't matter who necessarily for this question, but what happens next for the winner? Is it another fight before a world title fight against the top name, or do you think they can go straight into a world title contention again?
Well, it seems as if the winner of this fight is being set up to face the winner of Joshua Wallin. So I think we should expect to see that next. And I'm sure, many are hoping that Wilder wins so that way they can see Wilder Joshua. But this is a good matchup. I don't know, if Wilder's going to have such an easy time, and we're going to talk about that in a bit, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see how it plays out.
And similar question to yourself, Niall. Do you agree with Thomas? Is it sort of the winner fighting the winner of AJ Otto Berlin what you want to see next, or do you see something else happening?
I think it has to be, the winner of this to fight. Either like the winner of this fight is proven that they're still world level. So Anthony Joshua is the obvious fight to make, especially as mentioned. Wilder or AJ, we've waited so long for it. So yeah, I'd hope that's next for the winner. But there's also another uh big man from China who's still in the mix there, and I'd love to see maybe one of them fight Zhang. I think that'd be fascinating stylistically for whoever gets through that if they were to fight Zhang. So either Joshua or Zhang next to prove who the next real challenger for the world honors are.
Yeah, I think both points are fair there. I think we've struggled in recent times with the heavyweight division, but I think now His Excellency over in Saudi has managed to get this card together. I think those we'll be leaving those days in the past. Sticking with yourself, Niall. As I said at the start of this video, both fighters ex-world champions. Do you see either fighter being capable of winning a world title again?
It's going to be really tough for the pure fact that the next person to challenge for a world title who's not named Fury or Usyk is going to have to wait till 2025 because of the two-fight deal, next year with Fury and Usyk. So they're going to have to wait till 2025. And by then, Wilder, I think, will be 41 by then. So, it's he won't be a spring chicken, but he'll still be dangerous if the power carries, and Parker is going to be getting on a bit as well. So they can, if they're still around in the mix by then, they can definitely fight for a world title against Fury or Usyk or whoever it may be. But I'd hope they keep active between now and then. I'd hate to see Wilder have another year or so out of ring before that, or even Parker, who's been active lately. So yeah, once they keep active and stick around, they could be in the mix. And like, it's a division that's not known for its young guns. It never has been. So even if they are getting 2 years older and into their late 30s, early 40s, they'll still be dangerous. And yeah, they can definitely come again.
And then same to yourself, Thomas. Obviously, Niles made a good point there. Wilder looking to be, by the time it comes around to a potential world title fight again, he could be early 40s. Do you think either fighter is capable of winning a world title, or even put it to yourself, do you see either fighter ever being in a world title fight again?
Well, I think the winner of this fight could definitely be in a world title fight, but I don't see either guy being able to win a world title anymore. I think, unfortunately, they're past their best days, in my opinion. Um, and that aside, they have some stiff competition if they do want to win a world title. They either got to fight, Usyk, or Fury, and they're both locked up fighting each other. So, yeah, and then also Philip Hrgovic is waiting, as an IBF mandatory too. So it's going to be tough for either guy to get a world title fight. And then if they do, I don't see either of them winning.
Yeah, I think more than fair again. I think Wilder being, like you say, especially Niall, early 40s, if obviously he beats Parker, can he wait around that long for the title shot to almost become vacant? Or if he goes in with someone dangerous, if they have to put him in with the likes of Zhang or the winner of AJ Verlin, that could be the end of him, or it could be the start of a very late run. Go back to yourself there, Thomas. Obviously, I said at the start, off camera before this video, where I sort of jumped to a conclusion, in my opinion, of what was going to happen with this fight. And you sort of hinted there as well that it might not be as easy for Wilder as certain predictions have been. What do you think Joseph Parker needs to do to beat Wilder? Because we all know for styles make fights, and we all know for Wilder to beat Joseph Parker, realistically, 99 times out of 100, he's going to need to knock him out. But what do you think Joseph Parker needs to do to beat Wilder?
Well, I think he's got to back Wilder up and use his, he's not really, he doesn't really particularly have any X factor in terms of like physical ability, right? He's not known as the biggest puncher, obviously not the fastest, but like he does have good, boxing skills, classical boxing skills. And I think he could use that to his advantage, at least in the early rounds versus Wilder. The problem is he's got to keep it up and not get hit like at all, which, I mean, good luck with that with Wilder. And if he does hit you, as we know, with any heavyweights really, but especially with Wilder, all it takes is one. So he's got to fight a disciplined fight, but at the same time, he's got to be active. He's got to, make the fight ugly, back Wilder up, do some great work in the clinch. And I think that's how he would do it. Probably a decision. Or maybe he might wear Wilder out and possibly stop him late.
And then for yourself, Niall, I mean, it's almost stating the obvious of how Deontay Wilder wins this fight or what ways he wins the fight. Do you concur with Thomas, or do you see Joseph Parker needs to almost bring the pace, he needs to bring the heat, he needs to force it on him, or do you think it's viable way of victory that he makes it ugly, he almost boxes on the back foot and almost essentially tries to dance around and avoid that big right hand for 12 rounds?
I think that he needs to bring the pace and he needs to get right on top of Wilder. His Parker's friend and the person he trains with, Tyson Fury, proved exactly how you beat Deontay Wilder brilliantly. You walk him down, you get on his chest and you bully him. Wilder cannot fight off the back foot. Fury proved that he's really poor fighting off the back foot. So you have to negate the big right hand. You can't stand at that mid to long range and let him get his eye in for the right hand. So he needs to get on his chest early and set the pace from the start and just back him up and beat him up. Like Thomas said, that's how you beat Deontay Wilder, as Tyson Fury kind of proved. And he's training with Fury kind of every day. He's training with the man who's done this. I think like Parker does have the tools to outbox Wilder for large periods. He has fast hands, fast feet, gets in and out of range well. But I think he's more susceptible to get hit than he would be if he got in close. Got in on his chest. It's still going to be tough making their way in there and avoiding that right hand. It's going to be very tough. Like, even as well as Fury fought, he still got caught and dropped heavily. So yeah, but I think if he can get within range and negate that right hand and get on his chest and just rough him up, that's how he's going to win this fight.
Yeah, I think, like you say, Tyson Fury showed us the blueprint. I know Fury's, if he beats Usyk, he'll he'll go down widely regarded as the best heavyweight of the generation, and one of the best to do it, I'd imagine. I'll stick with yourself, Niall. It's a big fight breakdown, so I do have to push you for a prediction. So Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, December 23rd in Saudi Arabia. Who wins and how?
I've been struggling on this, but I'm gonna go Wilder late stoppage, maybe 8-12, because I said there what I think Parker needs to do, but it's a matter of, he needs to do that for 12 rounds. Wilder only needs 1 second, one shot, and I can't see Parker avoiding the big right hand all night. He's too easily hit, and he did have a good chin, but Joyce cracked the chin already, so that's been cracked and damaged. So I think Wilder's gonna land at some stage, and he's gonna. I can't see Parker getting up, so I'm gonna go Wilder late stoppage.
Thomas, I see you nodding your head there. Do you agree with Niall, or could you see a stoppage coming even earlier?
No, I honestly, that is exactly how I'd call it as well. I know I suggested maybe that Parker does have a good chance to win, and maybe he could win even by stoppage I mentioned, but like Neil said, he has to avoid that power, and I don't think he will be able to for the full 12 rounds. So yeah, I'd be going Deontay Wilder late stoppage. I think that Parker will win some rounds early, but of course, that power is going to catch up to him and stop him late.
Yeah, I hate to be boring on these videos. I know, as Elliot Stott would say, I'll come with a lot of controversy sometimes, but I have to agree. I think, touching on Thomas's point a bit, I think when you look at Wilder, he's been extremely inactive. He went life and death with Fury, from his perspective, over that trilogy. So we don't know what he's got left in the tank. So it's hard to predict, but I think Niall hit the nail on the head perfectly. I think Parker's a great chin, but the damage he took against Joe Joyce lasts. And I think he'll start fast and start early, but just a case for me of when that right hand lands, not if. And I think once it lands on the button, it's good night, Parker. And I think sort of rounds 9, rounds 10 for myself. But gents, it's been an absolute pleasure to break down the fight. It's an intriguing fight. I think it's one of those. I think we're all in the same boat here, where the more you think about it, possibly you see other methods of victory, such as could Parker actually pull it off? How sort of early, how late does Wilder land that bomb? But yeah, as I say, gents, it's been a pleasure. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. Do you agree with ourselves? Do you disagree and think it'll be a Joseph Parker shutout on points? Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Check out all of our other content coming up for that huge December 23rd card. And once again, thank you for joining me both tonight.